Hey everybody, Monkey Puzzle here with episode number 13 of our IronMine ARK Cluster series, and I am on Aberration this time, back there, and I am preparing for the boss fight over here against the Rockwell boss, which I have not seen that fight yet, so going to go into it completely blind at this point anyway, but a lot of the folks here, including Stevie Ladd, are raring to go to do that boss fight, so I'm trying to prepare for here and for Ragnarok simultaneously. So it's a lot to do, but what I have been working on here is preparing my Meganauts 2.0. You saw the video with my first Meganauts. Well, if you didn't, what's wrong with you? You should have. But this one, I mixed in the stat from Rimtus, which was giving something like 13k health. When we get back, I'll show you exactly what it is when we got back up to. But these are awesome, and it comes with the bonus red color. So these guys, super high health and melee and pretty good stamina. Oh yeah, you're following me. And they're red, and if it was dark, you could actually see they have like glow-in-the-dark red stripes, which is really cool as well. So I've got these guys, I'm leveled up. Well, I'm working on leveling them up anyway. I've been going around with multi-purpose actually to level them up. So far they're all up to about 32k health, and that's what I'm continuing to add stats to. I would like to get up to 40k before we do the Rockwell boss. We'll see if they get up to that. And then the other major stat is the melee, which is I leveled up just past 600 on all of them. So they're quite a force, and I have 11 of them. You can bring up to 20 dinos for the boss fight apparently, but I wanted to leave room for other folks to bring their best dinos. So, and 11 seems to be kind of the biggest number that I can easily maneuver around with. I can look back and, well, if that Parasaur wasn't in the way, which we can actually accomplish pretty well. Whoops. That didn't go right. All I gotta do is one bite on something, and that thing is dissolved, just gone. So the other purpose I've been going around for is I want to make a bunch of Ascendant gear today. That's one of the main things we're gonna do. And you can also see that we've got the floating damage values turned on, which we haven't had before. So I'm actually able to see what kind of damage things do. So I want to do some testing with that. You can see the bite of this thing did 827 damage. That's with the imprinting bonus with me on it, and we're mate boosted with a bunch of these guys. So yeah, it's quite a force. So we're going around right now and we're collecting hide as well. I'm trying to get up to well, there's a saddle that I want to make for these guys that takes a little bit more than 13,000 hides. So I've just been running around chomping on things and collecting quite a bit of hides. So that's going to take what, like more than 143,000 hide to do, which is a really big number. So we've just been laying waste to things, running around. I usually try to be a little laissez-faire and I don't kill innocent creatures on here unless I have to, but trying to get up to that number of hide has been quite a challenge, so I'm just going around and clearing the place out. And you can see nothing lasts long. There's not a whole lot up here that's really a challenge, unless they got stuck on each other like this, which they tend to do. Learning the nuances of working with that. Anyway, I want to get back to the greenhouse base in the blue and make this stuff. I think I have enough now. And as soon as I get into a dark part here, let's see if you guys can see the glow in the darkness of them. You can kind of see it in the ones back there, which is really cool because Aberration tends to be pretty dark. Let me turn the gamma down a little bit. So even when it gets pitch black, I can see where my Meganauts are, which is pretty awesome. And they just look scary like that too. So I'm gonna meet you back at the blue base and we'll see you over there. Okay, down here in the blue, let's turn this off. I've been making quite a bit of metal too. You can see that this thing is full again, and hopefully I have enough stuff prepared. We shall see. Okay, so I'm just going to park those guys out there. Let's bring the last of that metal in. Let me see. This one is not full. Definitely making the best use of Stuctures Plus for this with the pull. I love it. And then over here, let's pull the rest of that hide in. I've got quite a bit in here already. Just need something to pull from. So let's get that in here. So off my Meganauts right now, this stuff can stay where it's at. Got that much more. So that was 13,571 more. Enough for one more saddle. So we should have enough. I've set this whole area up in order to craft these blueprints, which I borrowed from Billy Bob and Rimtusk, because they've been doing a lot more blueprint gathering than I have, and they've done much better. So we've got this crossbow that is 653%. So that is awesome. And we're going to make this Ascendant Ghillie chest piece, which is 326. I've been wearing Ghillie on here because... Oop, I didn't mean to do that. I've been wearing Ghillie on here because it looks a little funny with the dye work right now. But you need something that helps with the hyperthermic in Aberration because things are hot. So I've got a Ghillie chest piece and a Ghillie boots. I can't put on the full flak armor that I want. Even though I've got 40 fortitude, it's still not enough and I get too hot. So he looks okay like this. And oh yeah, here is the setup right now for the Meganauts 2.0. You can see with 100% imprinting, they're coming out without any leveling up at 13,933 health and 466 melee. So which is pretty darn good. Stamina 1710. You can see the rest of the stats. So yeah, I rolled with that. You can always improve on that, I'm sure. And I've got the hatchery set up here, which is now full of. So I've got 48 more eggs of these guys that could be hatched at any point. So that's an army ready to go. Anyway, back to the blueprints. We've also got the saddle that I've been talking about. So this one is going to be 159 armor. Now, they had some saddles that were slightly better than this. I think they got up to 160%, but then they took a lot more hide. So this was the best balance I found of ones of armor versus the expense of it. So, and then here is a sword, an Ascendant sword that's 617%. These are crazy values. So I guess he got these out of some of the caves or after some of the mini boss fights. I'm not sure. We do have the configs here set at loot drops equals quality 5. And I don't know if that actually increases the percent of blueprints or it just makes it so that you get to the good stuff more if you get to the Ascendant gear more often. But whatever, it's cool to actually get stuff that's worth it rather than just medium crop plot blueprints all the time. I mean, I've still got plenty of fish basket blueprints on here, but this is pretty cool. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. I'm going to have to take some stuff out. Do it, because this thing is overly full at the moment. So let's get the blueprints in there. Makes me nervous even having them on me. There we go. And then one thing I'm going to do now, which I have not done before, is I'm going to use a mind wipe and get my crafting skill, put all my 100 levels into crafting skills. And somewhere here I've got some mind wipes. Let's get 3 of those out. First thing I want to do is do a test. Because I'm level 100 and in default ARK configs, you can only use mind wipes once per level right now. So if I did a mind wipe right now in default configs and put everything in the crafting speed or crafting skill, I would be stuck that way forever, which that would be a pretty lousy character. But we have it set so we can do infinite mind wipes. At least I hope so. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a test to make sure. So I'm going to eat one of these. Whoop, and then I lost all my engrams. That's going to be a difficult thing, is I'm going to have to relearn all those engrams, but I'm willing to do it for this, and I've set myself up to make quite a few of these things to do it. But first, I want to put a level into something innocuous like health, which I won't mind having. And now let's see if I do another mind wipe, if I'm able to. So yes, that means I can do infinite mind wipes, even though I'm level 100, which is good, even though this is at level 1 right now. I know it's a little confusing, but yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put all my levels into crafting skill right now and see how much that benefits us when we make this thing. So this is going to be a lot of crafting skill, and I think this is the only way that crafting skill is really worth it, because I before put like 10 or 20 levels into it, and it didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. Oh, right. Now I can't move because I don't have enough weight. I'll be right back. I got to resolve this issue. Alright, I had to waste that mind wipe so I could move, and I've just put all my gear on to Havoc 5 there now. So go ahead. I can go ahead and do it again. And then I got to give all the levels back to crafting skill again. So give me a second here. Okay, so that equals a total of 1090% crafting skill. So let's see what that gets us. So first thing I want to make is those saddles. Let's find that right here. And I can't right now because there's no hide in here. So let's go ahead, and what we can make is some of these crossbows. I'd like to make a lot. I don't know how many I can actually get away with, but let's make 3 of them right now. I know I can do that, and that should make some room for some hide in here. And let's see what they come out with. 100 levels or 99 levels into crafting skill. Instead of 653, that one came out at 722. And let's see what the next one comes out at. 755. So you get maybe at max, it seems like so far, maybe 1% more per level of crafting skill that you put in here. 755, 755, 722. And that's quite a bit of randomness too. So it definitely shows that crafting skill can be worth it if you put everything into it, but would not be worth it at all if you just put a fraction of these points into it. So there's that. But these are some mighty fine crossbows. Would be the most amazing crossbows I ever used. So we'll test those out in a little bit. But let's see what these come out to. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to pull all the stuff into here yet. But let's go ahead and make as many as we can right now, which is 1. And see what it comes out to be. And my Meganauts are killing Carcinos while I'm out there, while I'm in here doing this. Alright, so that gave it an additional 41 levels. So, or not levels, but armor. So that's pretty good. That's 200 armor on the Meganaut saddle. So that should be pretty helpful indeed. So I'm going to definitely make some more of those. Let's make one of these right now. I've got a whole bunch of organic poly stored up too from all that Carcino killing. So let's see what we get with the Ascendant Ghillie chest piece. And that came out at 409 armor. So that's pretty good. And I'll get 180 hypothermic relief insulation with that. So that will be very helpful too, because a lot of this other flak and stuff I'm wearing takes away quite a bit of hyperthermic. Like that one's negative 40. This is on an Ascendant flak helmet, which is negative 20. These awesome flak leggings that Aurelia and I found when we did the lava boss on Ragnarok are minus 50 hyperthermic. So you can see why you need something that really equals that out. So we can take that off, put that on there. So this one was Let me see, 180 hyperthermic, and this one was 149. So that gives me 31 more hyperthermic insulation, which is pretty cool. And then let me see if I grab this off of there, put that on there. Then I get my colors back too, because apparently the colors stay with the glider wings. All right, so now while I have you guys with me, let's make one more of the things. Let's find the sword, and let's pull for that. And let's see what the 617% sword comes out to be. 755. So that is fantastic. So far, I've been using this pike that I got from War that's 755. And you can tell he must have done the same thing to make it with a equivalent blueprint for a pike. But swords have much higher base damage than pikes do, so this should be a much better one. So we're going to test all this afterwards. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to make a bunch more of these saddles and then see what materials I have left for all this other stuff. I got to pull that wood out of there because that's not useful for the saddles. Let's take one of those. Anyway, I'll do this work off camera, and because this is going to be a lot of moving materials around, and then I'll come back and show you all the things that I was able to craft with the materials that I have right now. And as I make these, I realized I didn't show you the full cost of all this stuff. So it takes 13,287 hide, about 7,000 fiber, and about 1,200 metal ingots to make those saddles. And they're coming along nicely. And this sword, this amazing sword, only takes 3762 in ingots, which is not that bad at all. I'm getting jostled around right now by earthquakes and stuff. Only 75 wood and 1128 hide. So that's amazing. And let me see these crossbows. Let's see if I can pull for more of these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to make 4 more. Let's see if we can do that. That's 2. It fills up with enough stuff that it can't make more than 2 at a time. But we'll get those going. And then the other blueprints, this crossbow there's the ingredients for it. 3,600 fiber, only 720 metal, and 1,000 wood. So that's awesome. And this is practically not even worth mentioning. It's hardly anything. So that's pretty amazing too. All right, can we make 2 more of the saddles? We can. So we're going to get our full 11 saddles right now. And then the question is, what I have left for those other things. Alright, I made all I could make, and it turns out that metal ingots were the thing that I ran short on first, but I came out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these amazing crossbows, and with the one on me, I've got 4 of those Ascendant swords. I've got the whole 11 saddles that I was after, and then we ended up with 3 of these ghillie chest pieces. So that's pretty good for now. I've got replacements. I can always do this again when I need to make more. It's just a hassle of relearning the engrams with the mind wipe. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let me respec one more time, and then let's do this together, what I should get up to. So one thing too that I didn't do before is I didn't give myself any melee damage, and I'm wondering if that will really help with these weapons or not. We'll have to do a little testing with that, but I know I'm going to want some health, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get up to at least 300. I've been doing 400. You got to have some stamina. I've been doing 200. Let's do 150 for now, and then weight has to be 400. There's no way around that, and even that is not enough. As a builder, you have to have a lot of weight. And then I like to have some movement speed, although it's not absolutely essential. Let's do a little testing first, and let's see how much melee really makes a difference. So we got our Ascendant sword. Actually, let me grab one of these crossbows too. And I don't know if melee makes a difference with projectiles at all or not. So it looks like the highest they can come out to is 753. Let's grab 2 of those because that's what I generally carry. And then we got our weight up now, so I don't need to worry about that. I also want to test this with the fire arrows from Ragnarok. And let's go ahead and get this guy back out. In fact, we can just grab all that stuff back now. Oh, you got some levels. Anyway, we'll do that in a minute. I wonder what making all that stuff, how many levels that actually gave for my beasts. So let's see. All right, let's do a little testing. We need a victim out here. I don't know if there's going to be a victim that we can hit more than once with this sword. Let's get these guys to come with me, and I'll meet you guys when I find something interesting. Alright, we got this poor stuck Anki over here. And I can't do this on the training dummy anymore because we have friendly fire turned off. At least on 2 of our maps. It's on the island so people can go over there and shoot each other when they want to do that. But I have to test on beasts. Now this thing is going to have armor, I'm sure, so that's going to affect things. Let's give it a hit. That's 543 with that amazing thing. So now let's go ahead and give ourselves a little melee damage. So we get 5 each. Let's do 10% and see what that does. It was 543, right? I have to look back at the footage to see if I got that right. 597. So that does do something. Let's go ahead now and let's try with the crossbow and see what we get from that. 717, which I should have tried before I did this, but let's go ahead and give 2 more to melee. 717 again, so it does not affect the projectile, but it does affect the sword somewhat. I don't know if it's really worth it though, because the sword's already so high. I could probably better use that into something like fortitude or weight or stamina or health or something like that. So I think I'm going to do it without the melee, and then I'll just do my normal stat allotment. Okay, so I did that. I took 1 more of the mind wipes, and I settled with my health at 400, my stamina at 200, my weight at 400, and then I took fortitude up to 50 this time rather than 40. So that's the highest I've ever had it, and just trying to, you know, not deal with being overheated and such, especially here on Aberration. So between that and my new ghillie chest piece, hopefully that will be good enough. And then what I had left, 4 levels left, I put a little bit into movement speed. But those mind wipes are easier to make than I remembered, especially with all the rare flowers and mushrooms here on Aberration. So I can always do that again if I need to, for the price of relearning my engrams. Alright, anyway, I'm going to clean up house here a little bit. I got to put my Meganauts away, and then I'm going to meet you guys over on Ragnarok, and we're going to do a little bit more melee testing with a few other things I have over there. So I will see you soon. One last note as I put my Meganauts away is I changed out all those saddles, and they came in at an average about 200 armor, so that's 8 times better than what they were before, so that ought to help with Rockwell. We shall see. Alright, so I am over on Ragnarok. Ah, stupid bugs. Alright, after the suicide bugs. So back on Ragnarok, and it's time to test some of these things using our new floating damage numbers. We never had that on before, so that's brand new. It looks like got to deal with some Troodons too. Okay, so hopefully those all the nuisance is gone. Picked a Diplo here because they have both high HP and they won't hurt me back, so you can have a chance to test this out. So first, let's test a sword versus the pike. So this is the pike that I have been using, 755 damage. Let's see what it does. Oh, it's a 168 too. That's great. And I didn't see the damage number. Let's try again. If I can do it. Gotta get behind it. Alright, let's try again. Alright, 301. Which is not huge, but it is a lot for a handheld weapon. Alright, and this is with no melee damage on my part, right? So let's get around to this side with the sword. 543. So almost double. So that's great. I can definitely put that sword to good use in the dungeons and the caves and stuff. Now let's try these new crossbows. And these are, this guy's going to push me around a little bit. This is 755 and 755%. So 717 with that one. Now let's try it with a flame arrow. Okay, so the flame arrow actually does less to start with, but then it does damage over time. So 166 and 40. I thought the flame arrow did quite a bit more. Alright, and then the last thing I want to do, whoa, I deserve that, is compare it to the long neck rifle. So this is the best one I had before. This is a 373 weapon damage. Hopefully we don't kill it with the first shot. So we gotta, it's not that bloody yet. 732. Okay, and then, so that actually answers my first question, is I wanted to see if that high level crossbow could possibly compare to this rifle. Save myself a little damage there. So it would. The problem is, Ur has gifted me a better rifle. And I think it's going to beat that new crossbow out. But I don't really mind. I was wondering if I could get by with stone arrows. But I know I can do, what, 717 damage with a stone arrow now? What was it? Let's see. Give it one more shot with that one. 717, yeah. So this is the, somewhere, where did I put it? Oh man, I guess I forgot to grab it. Stupid bugs. Short work of that guy. And that guy. My 543 on a bug. It's a bit overkill. Yeah, I left that other rifle back over here at Monkeyheim, so I'll be right back. I moved it over to this box, but when I got back from doing the lava golem thing, or at least after I had put the video up, or rewarded both the Raleigh and I with these gifts right here. He gave us 755 pike, which I had already from him, but now I have a replacement in case I die. 755 simple pistol, which I have never used actually on dinos before. Maybe we'll have to test that one too. And then 755 Ascendant rifle. So 755 seems to be what we top out at right now. And that's an amazing number. I've never played with anything like that. So let's see if we got some bullets. We do. Let's grab those. And let's see how many more shots that Diplo can take. We can always find another one if we have to. But I'm learning a lot with the floating damage values on, and there's a lot more to learn. And I'm also learning that weapons affect different dinos differently. Some have armor and some don't. And that's all new information because, you know, I was never able to see that before. Alright, so let's do a little bit more damage to our poor science subject here. So we're going to switch out for this guy. And then if we get a chance to use it before it dies, let's put that over there. So this is the 755 rifle. Let's see what it does. Whoa! 1,479. So that blows anything away. And let's see, one other thing to test here. We've got our 5.76 shotgun. Let's see what that does. Excuse me, I'm doing a video here. You're lucky I didn't test on you. I could have, actually. Alright, so the shotgun up close. Whoa, it does like 185 a whole bunch of times. That's a little overkill, too. So how many of those, I don't know, but I didn't realize that it actually did the shotgun thing with like multiple damage. It's pretty interesting. When I look at the video, I'll be able to see more of that. There's a lot of bugs here. This is a very buggy area. Alright, and last test on this guy, maybe. Whoop. Let's test the pistol. 528. That's not shabby. And it's not a shabby pistol either. So that's pretty decent. Alright, let's check this out again. You know, and it uses 1/3 the ammo that the shotgun does too. Well, excuse me. Yeah, a bunch of overlaid 185, so it's really hard to tell how many of those there are. A lot of them, it seems like. Alright, so gotta put this guy out of his misery. Let's do it up close with the sword, maybe. And that's that. So, a lot of really intense weapons there. And we're not even getting into like the Ascendant rifle and, or excuse me, we're not even getting into the assault rifle and the sniper rifle and all that stuff, which I haven't used. But if I can keep it at these more primitive weapons, I would like that, because I don't really like the look or the feel of bringing a machine gun into ARK. I guess you could. I'll have to test it, and then maybe once I get the numbers from that, I'll change my feelings about it. But anyway, for now, this is Monkey Puzzle, trying to get ready for some boss fights and just, you know, leveling up my whole situation in general. So thank you for watching until the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.